All right, now let's look back at the major economy headlines this week. Inflation in Indonesia continues to slow, while prices in Europe, on the other hand, remain high. Also this week, Indonesia's President Joko Widodo kicked off the construction of a hydropower plant in North Kalimantan, which will provide clean energy to a green industrial park project in the province. Here is This Week in Review.
We'll begin this week in review with Indonesia, where inflation still continues its downward trend. For the month of February 2023, consumer inflation on a monthly basis slowed to 0.16%. This was lower than the 0.3% monthly inflation between December to January. Although yearly headline inflation came in hotter, core inflation, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, also slowed to 3.09%. With this, core inflation has now already reached Bank Indonesia's target of 3 plus minus 1%. The Indonesian Central Bureau of Statistics said that the slowdown in inflation was largely due to a drop in volatile food prices. For example, in February, chili prices fell by over 7%, chicken meat prices fell by 4%, while the prices of eggs fell by 3%. While inflation in Indonesia has slowed, prices in Europe, on the other hand, remain high. For February, consumer inflation in France came in at 6.2%, hotter than expected. Inflation in Spain was also higher than expected, as annual inflation rose to 6.1%. Meanwhile, for the Eurozone, or 20 countries that use the euro currency, consumer inflation in February reached 8.5%, slightly lower than January, but the prices of many essential items remain high. Energy prices in the Eurozone surged by 13% from a year ago, while food, alcohol, and tobacco prices rose by 15%. Core inflation, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, rose to 5.6%, higher than it was in January. Moving back to Indonesia. On Wednesday this week, President Joko Widodo led a groundbreaking ceremony kicking off the construction of the Mentarang hydropower plant in Malinau, North Kalimantan. Costing $2.6 billion to construct, the hydropower plant will generate up to 375 megawatts of energy, providing clean energy in North Kalimantan, but also powering the green Kalimantan Industrial Park Indonesia in the nearby Bulungan region. This is part of the Kalimantan Industrial Park's vision of producing green products or goods produced via the use of clean and renewable energy. President Widodo's inauguration of the Mentarang hydropower plant was part of his trip to oversee the development of the Green Industrialized Special Zone, the Kalimantan Industrial Park Indonesia. The industrial park is set to be the largest green industrial area in the world, measuring a whopping 13,000 hectares in size. All industries that are or want to be tied to green products will come to conduct their business here. This includes the electric vehicle industry, including the production of batteries and aluminium. The green industrial complex is also predicted to provide 160,000 jobs as well.